Guinea stands for the North Traveller, and that's what we are. We're Northern Travellers. And if you see some strange mouth actions and some grunts and coughing, it's because I'm recovering from throat cancer. So please excuse that throughout the videos. Well, another vlog really, not about sailing or going anywhere, but just about some of the difficulties I'm having with this gearbox, and I'll show you that as we go through. But basically today is about removing the gearbox and getting it sent off so that somebody else can have a look at it and see what we can do. Yesterday I spent putting engine mounts on the sailboat engine, which got delayed because I didn't have the right two of the mounts that they sent were wrong. But anyway, I did two of them and I've only got two to go now. Today the job is to take this Techno Drive gearbox out, which no one seems to know exists, and see whether we can get either a replacement or get it refurbished, one of the three. So that's our job today. Right, first job first is to take this coupling off. They fitted this and it's supposed to be balanced, but if you look at that is so hard to turn that, which would suggest that's under strain there. Anyway, it's got to come off anyway, so chances are I'll try and get it back a bit better than that. A bit disappointed actually that's so tight. No wonder it was rumbling a lot more than it should have been. Yeah, anyway, the idea is to take these bolts off, separate this off, and it'd be interesting to see how much that springs up or down, and then jack this gearbox up, push that out of the way, jack the gearbox up, and then start taking all these off, which are the housing for the drive, and see how we get on. That's the job, Roy. Like everything else, not easy to get to this one. I can't get the ratchets in here, so I've got to do this really. But that should be okay. Hard work with a spanner though, and I need a longer spanner, but I haven't got one, so it's going to have to be this, unfortunately. That's one. Now let's see if I can get this other one off down there before I move that other key. This way you need some massive spanners. I am turning the engine over, by the way, so it should be stiff. All for the sake of an oil leak. I should have just paid the extra money really and got them to repair the oil leak. Well, they weren't happy with working with the gearbox, hence when I took it out, there was no reverse gear, because they didn't know how the system worked. I mean, considering you pay a lot for these people, and they boasted about the £100 an hour fee, really, you know, if I can
do a slightly better job. Maybe I'm worth £100 an hour. Right. Just this one to go now. Let's see if we can sort this out without much of ado. Nope. Requires the additional spanner. The other thing is they have all the correct tools to work with. Where I'm putting up with very tools. Well, not very poor tools, but cheap tools anyway. Right, that's that off right. 1 down, 6 to go. Look how easy that is to turn now. Now it's disconnected. That's how it should be when it's on the drive shaft, when it's connected. So it was obviously not aligned properly. Not happy with that. I'll email him and tell him that. But, that's not a good show for the amount of money we paid, really. I mean, this part of it is fantastic. All of this is great. You know, renewing the parts, but fixing the damn thing, certainly not a job that they're very good at, by the looks of it. Anyway, it's done now, Roy. We'll see what they say when I contact them. And the question is, do I take the actual brackets off, or do I actually, I don't know. Yeah, I'll take the brackets off, I think. I think that'd be easiest to do. Now these would be interesting, because these should come off dead easy, considering they've only had them off recently, or should have had them off recently to balance
the gearbox.
That's better. That was my fault. I didn't have enough grip on it to be able to move. Just to prove I can turn that with just my finger when it's in neutral, so that they don't say that it was the strain on the gearbox, because it's not. Certainly not.
Some 3/4 of an hour later, I managed to get everything off except take the gearbox out. To that soon.
Anyway, the job today is to get this gearbox out. I've got a couple of options really. One is to see where I can get the only 2 screws left on this, but they're so difficult to get to. This is one of them, which is as loose as anything. And then see if I can get it out, or see if I can get this gearbox out off by itself. I think it does come off by itself, but I don't know what's holding it on at the moment. It may just be the weight of the engine. The other thing is whether I've got enough room to take the gearbox back far enough so I can get it out, because it's got to go back further than that. If not, I'll have to take that off, the drive shaft off. If I've got to take that off, that's going to be a hell of a job, but it's all possible. It's all doable, Roy. And then the last problem I've got is, if I can't get any of this off, then the bell housing's got to come off. And the bell housing is not something I want to be taking off, because I don't know what's inside there, what that requires, whether the oil's going to pour out. I really don't know. So I think the object today is trial and error, as per usual with everything I do. And to top it all, it's raining. What a great day to do this job. Anyway, I've got the engine lifted so I can do some alignments now. But the big problem is the the gearbox is still, and I say still, with great emphasis, still locked in place. It's doesn't matter what I do, it just will not budge at all. Now I really don't know what it's supposed to do. This nut here is as loose as anything, but I can't get that off because the gearbox is in the way. But I think it's actually come away from the main housing. I don't know. There's only one bolt holding it, and that's at the bottom there. Perhaps if I put a bolt in the top here, I might be able to line that up a bit better. Yeah, I think if I put one of these back, it might just help free up the bottom one. Or make it a bit easier at least. Certainly not helpful. Just see if that's level with the gearbox so I can get it out. It certainly seems loose in its frame, but it ain't coming out right. Yeah, I'd be better kneeling down, but if I kneel down, I don't know if I can get back up or not. It's so tight, the space. And I can't really see this nut at all. If I could see it, that would help. It's like just not possible to see this nut. And the angle I've got to work at is just not good. Hopefully on the final steps now, I've got to take this off. There must be something significant about that nut there, and I don't know what it is. I can't see any markings that it's got to be in that place, but it's a red coloured nut, and I don't think that's by accident. So I don't really know what to do with that apart from mark the plastic and the top of the drum, and the other bits we'll see anyway. We'll see what we can do. Well, given the ridiculousness of this, I think I'm going to attempt to take the actual bell housing off. I bet you I'm going to find now that that's not possible either. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Can't go far enough back to take this off, so this has got to come off now. pressure on that. Anyway, can't get this off now. I put that bolt through where the red nut goes, so hopefully it'll all line up and we'll keep that all in line. As I say, I don't know what the significance is about that. I'm sure someone will tell me, and then hopefully now we've got enough room to get this gearbox out. If not, we're in trouble, because I can't do any more. What did he say? There goes nothing. Okay, Roy. Let's see whether we can do this. Oh, well we can, because it just fell off. Would you believe?
And 2 days later, gearbox removed.
Right, tidy up, clean up, and let's go home. Oh yeah, and now it's time to do what we did before. You can see here, there's 2 of these missing already, and 4 are loose, which is not a good thing. But the other thing, this is what I was saying before, is taking this off. If you look at this, how on earth am I supposed to get those bolts off when the gearbox is there? And I can't get the gearbox out because they're holding it in. So how is that for good design? I mean, what's the point of putting this here, that onto this, when it's locked from the inside? Someone really didn't know what they were doing. This is the possible leak here, and also I noticed there's a possible leak from the front here. So anyway, the idea now is to strip it all down and see what's what. Just take the bell housing off and I'll send this unit away to the only manufacturer that got back to me and said they'll take a look at it for me. So that's good. Nope. Bit bigger than that, right? Well, it takes the loose ones out. I don't know whether I'll get the, because it's not really the right one. So I need to find 2 more of those really. Right, finally, this plate is off. If you look here, everything's so, I hate working on gearboxes like this, it's so filthy. But if you look here, 2 of these, as I say, 3 were missing, no, 4 were, 2 were missing, yeah, no, 3 were missing, 3 were missing, 2 are broken inside the box, so they'll have to be reamed out. And that's if I want to carry on with this box really. But there's no, as I say, I've had a good look at this and I can't get anything from it at all. That's all it is, it's a Techno drive, and that's as simple as it gets really. The idea, what's been recommended, is to take all the measurements and see if I can get a replacement box for this. Not too sure that I can. But the only good thing that may come out of this is that this is the bell housing for the that goes onto the engine. Now, if I can get a gearbox with this plate that will go onto this bell housing, then I can replace the gearbox, so long as it's got the same dimensions, which is the critical bit. So that's the plan now, is to take measurements really. Forget everything else, just take measurements and see, hunt around, see whether I can get a gearbox that will fit. Well, I think I found out where the oil's coming from, which I can't understand really, because it comes out of one of these bolt holes that was missing. There you go. I already saw that now. That's ridiculous, isn't it? Here are some still pictures of the gearbox that I took to take the measurements and make some drawings from. But I thought it might be worth showing, if anyone's seen a gearbox like this, or knows where I can get it, or even knows what it is. It's certainly a Techno drive, but as far as numbers are concerned, we don't know. As I say, I'm sending all this away to MIT, marine drive experts, and they said they're going to look at it for me and help give me an idea whether it can be replaced, refurbished, or what else, whatever I can do with it really. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate this is only for those weirdos who want to take gearboxes apart and work on engines, but it might help somebody else realise, this is how you do it if they've got a similar box and don't know what to do.